Alright, day 3 of unemployment. Miss Riley is being a little thing back there, tearing up the freaking hammock, so that's fun. This morning I went for a walk with Riley and I ran into my neighbor's neighbor, and my neighbor is doing construction and he's making a 1-story into a 2-story, and the other neighbor was like, "Oh, I heard you were complaining about how high his house is gonna be," and I was like, "Complain? Come on, like that is not what I said." I was just surprised, or I don't know what I expected, but they had a 1-story like set, and then they had like this really large arch thing that went to the 2nd story, so it like didn't really blend in. And so I was surprised, and I was like, "Oh, it looks like it's gonna be tall." And I was genuinely just like curious. And then she goes ahead and says that I was complaining about it, and I like texted my neighbor immediately, like, just so we're clear, for the record, I did not complain about your house being 2 stories and how high it was going to be. The other neighbor also said something about like, "Oh, as long as it doesn't cover your solar panels, right?" I'm like, wow, like I didn't even think of that, honestly. Like the sun gets so high, like up in the air right now, like it's straight up. The sun will still hit my solar panels, and I don't think it'll cover it. But like all these people putting like words and their thoughts into my mouth, and I'm like, dang, like I didn't think of any of this. You're assuming a lot from nothing, from whatever I said. And I was like, maybe I should be saying more then. I should say more about what I'm thinking and feeling, so then other people don't have any space to guess or make up what they think that I'm thinking or feeling. You know what I mean? Anyway, that was that. Last night I did end up going to dinner with my people that I knew from New Jersey, and it was nice. I almost didn't want to go, but I'm glad I went, because there are just some things that, you know, that go on in your life, and other people might have some information that you don't know about it. Especially now that I am going to try to switch careers and jump into tech. It would be nice to have, like, it would be nice to know about, like, that world, or, like, have connections in that world, right? And they also told me about this thing where they list, like, people as their domestic partners in California and get, like, health insurance for their partner. And I guess the companies don't really care about asking about the paperwork for that stuff. And I was like, well, that's good to know. Like, just stuff like that you wouldn't otherwise find out about if you didn't go and socialize. So I am really gonna work on this being social thing now that I don't have work to go to, and I basically don't talk to anybody now, and my social life has like basically disappeared. I really need to make effort to go out and make friends and keep up with relationships. Otherwise I'm gonna go fucking crazy, even though I'm an introvert and I don't need that much socialization. But if I'm at home by myself for prolonged periods of time without talking to anybody else, like, that is... Which way do I go? Fuck. I think it's this way. This GPS is very confusing. I think I went the right way. What was I saying? Yeah, I'll go freaking crazy if I don't interact with anybody. We're social beings. So, yeah. Right now, I am on my way to help take care of my friend's cat while they're on vacation. And I'm bringing Riley with me so she can have some exposure even though their cats just run away from her. Even though that happens, I think it'll be a good experience. And then I also am going to go to REI because I realized if I want to document my life like this, I will need something to carry my gimbal on. And it was really hard to film all that stuff, like going to Santana Row and going to the mall when I'm busy, like with one hand like holding her leash and trying to deal with her, and sometimes having to pick her up. I'm talking about Riley. Sometimes having to pick her up and like I don't know. Sometimes that's the good footage that I get, like that lady who asked me if Riley bites, and her husband was like, "She's just a baby."
Go when mommy says stop, you say okay.
I'm just a baby.
But you still had to say okay, mom.
I'm just a baby.
Like, yeah. Just because my dog is a pit bull or a pit bull mix doesn't mean she bites. Like, are people born racist? I don't think so. So, just like moments like that is fun to have that on record, I feel like, because shit like this happens all the time. So, yep, that's what I'm headed to doing, and I will talk to you later.